What's up, y'all? Mrs. Mime100 here with another Pokemon Go video exclusive NYC Go Fest tips. Okay, so here we are staring at Randall's Island Park once again on Google Maps. Thank you, Google Maps. As you can see, it's its own little island. Now, I have talked to other New Yorkers to confirm that my opinions and my thoughts are not just bias and like my own thoughts and opinions, but there is parking on the island, but I will say it is very limited, and entrance to the island is also limited, right? Because you're talking about very limited amount of entrances to drive into, so you're gonna expect a lot of traffic and potentially not actually able to get a parking spot. What I will remind you also is that in-park play, you only get 4 hours of in-park play at Randall's Island. If you bought a morning ticket, that's 4 hours, and then we have a 2-hour lunch break, and then you're supposed to go play in the city. If you have the afternoon, you're supposed to go play in the city, have your 2-hour lunch break, and then come to the park for 4 hours, and that's the end of the event. So just keep that in mind whether you actually want to just park your car there for 4 hours, because that's a short amount of time considering that you're also going to be playing in the city at some point, whether that is for the rest of the day or whether that is the rest of the weekend. I don't know whether you bought those add-ons or not. Just keep that in mind. Hi, it's Mime of the Future who's editing this video, and I want to make one other point, too, in terms of the parking, which is that Niantic may or may not close down the entire park, right? In the past few years, the parks have still been open to the public while the Pokemon Go event goes on, so other people will be using that park, and that park is actually, Randall's Island Park is very popular for sports, particularly like softball and baseball, and in the summer those are like gonna be happening a lot because the kids are out of school, etc., etc. Just all that to say is the locals will be using parking spots too, especially if those baseball fields are still open and sporting events are still going on, which is probably gonna be the case because, like I said, Niantic doesn't shut down the park entirely, even though the event is going on. So keep that in mind. Parking is likely going to be very limited. Also, even like the event organizers themselves will have probably their own spaces and like food trucks or whatever taking up parking spots to set up tents and whatnot. So even less parking spots is all I'm going to say. So I would advise you not to park on the island if you can help it. It'll probably be better for you, for your mental health, that you won't be stuck in traffic or like just going in circles frustrated because you can't actually find a parking spot on the island. Back to past me, talking more about where to park. Now, in terms of actual parking though, here's my advice. If you are driving from up north, I would recommend that you look into the train lines, the Metro North lines. Park somewhere along there. Park somewhere along those train lines where there's a stop and there's a station where you can park. And then take the train all the way to 125th Street. It's going to be Park Avenue. The train on the Metro North is called Harlem and 125th Street. You can take it there and then be able to take the M35 crosstown. Again, keep in mind this neighborhood is maybe not the safest, so you do want to keep your eyes and wits about you. Keep your phones away. Put your phones away, don't let anyone see them. Keep your wires in your pockets, in your bags. Try not to make a scene. Stay in small groups. That's my advice when you're walking around this area. Okay. Anyway, that's parking from up north. If you're coming from like New Jersey, Pennsylvania or something, that's kind of tough. I don't know that I would recommend like parking in Jersey City. It's probably going to be cheaper parking somewhere around here, and then taking a ferry over or taking the PATH train over into Manhattan and then taking the train up to this area and walking over to Randall's Island. That's a little bit of a hassle. You could definitely, if you don't mind paying tolls and things like that, you can drive through Staten Island, go up through Brooklyn, and go into Queens by taking the BQE through Brooklyn and Queens, and parking somewhere near, like, Astoria over here. This neighborhood is relatively safe. Again, just anywhere in New York City, anywhere you go, honestly, just, like, keep your wits about you. if you're parking your car somewhere on the street, like, don't leave anything in your car. Like, do not leave anything in your car. Backpacks, water bottles, phone chargers, laptops, computers, anything. Even if you hide under the seat, do not do that. I have so many horror stories, including a personal horror story of, like, a relative who left their, like, computer bag in the car in a neighborhood in New York City that is known to be relatively safe. But nonetheless, these random people decided to break into the car and steal that person's backpack, which included a laptop with their entire senior thesis. And they were like 3 weeks away from graduating. It's a horror story, and it's entirely true and pretty extreme, but that is definitely, there was nothing else in the car. The car wasn't even like that nice, but like there was nothing to indicate that there was anything in the car, right? So like, this is why I say do not leave anything in your car. If you have like a rental car too, like if somebody breaks into it, that's like problematic for you because you're probably gonna have to pay a big fee for it. So again, keep that in mind. You can street park it. Are there garages? Yes, they're going to be very, very expensive, especially if you're going to try to park around the park when they know that there's an event. Those garage owners will jack up the price so much. On a normal weekend, for the first hour, it costs like $20 to $25 just to park your car in a parking garage. For the first hour. If you're there for several hours, you're going to be, I don't know, up to like $60, $80 sometimes. So just keep that in mind. If you street park, you know, you do have to parallel park. But yeah, my recommendation is to come here to Astoria if you're going to be coming from New Jersey, or if you're from Long Island, honestly, you know, anywhere in the Long Island area. Go over there. Yeah, park in Queens. You will be okay. You will be okay in Queens. One thing I should mention too is about the bus, because I've mentioned it now and it seems like it's going to be a very popular choice. Try to get there early if you are in the morning. If you're in the afternoon, you're a little bit flexible. I feel like there should be some flexibility in terms of like the bus schedule at that time. But in the morning, I don't know how often it's going to be coming, you know? Like, you can definitely keep checking on your phone, like look up Google, again, look up the MTA's website for the M35 bus. They usually have a live bus schedule too, so you can see where the buses are at different stops and how far away they are from you. But they're probably going to be packed. It reminds me a bit of Berlin, where the park was like really far away, so you could take a train to a certain stop and then you could take a bus to get to the park entrance. But when I got there, and I thought I was early, I got out of the train station and the whole sidewalk was just like a flood of people waiting for the bus. There was no way I was going to get on a bus for at least an hour or two. So I decided to walk like the mile to get to the park entrance instead. That might be an option if you truly find that it's going to be too packed full of people here. You can walk across this bridge. Keep that in mind. And yeah, again, like this area is not one that you want to like stick out. You do want to be in a small group if you can. Keep your things with you tightly. Keep your bags close to you. Pay attention. This area is not the greatest. I'm just gonna be fully transparent. I confirmed that with like at least several other New Yorkers, and it's not just me and my biases. So yeah, pay attention, be safe. I sincerely don't want anyone getting hurt, you know, trying to get to GoFest, because it's gonna be a fun day. GoFest itself is always such a blast. I don't want anyone getting hurt, like, just trying to get there, right? So keep your wits about you, make smart choices, and yeah, I think that is all the questions we had in terms of parking. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, smash that thumbs up, and hit the bell notification so you know the next time I drop more videos, whether it's adventuring for Pokemon Go or dropping more tips for NYC Go Fest coming up this August 18th, 19th, and 20th. So excited, and I will see you all there. Bye!